Welcome to The Explainer. When we think about solving huge problems like global poverty, we usually imagine some high-tech, complicated solution, right? Well, what if the answer was way simpler? Today, we're diving into a fascinating idea from a billionaire about how to change the world with chickens.
Okay, so it all starts with this really powerful question that Bill Gates asked himself after years of work with his foundation. He said, if you lived on just $2 a day, what would you do to improve your life? Now, for us, that might just be a thought experiment. But for about a billion people around the world, that's not an experiment. It's just life.
So, after all this on-the-ground research, Gates came to a pretty surprising conclusion. It wasn't about software or some new gadget. He said, and I'm quoting here, "Through my foundation work, I've met many people in poor countries who raise chickens. It's pretty clear to me that for anyone living in extreme poverty, this is a good bet." So what was this big idea? Yep, chickens. I know, it sounds a little weird coming from one of the biggest tech pioneers on the planet, right? But he lays out this really compelling, data-backed case for why this humble bird is actually a powerful way to escape poverty. So let's break it down. All right, first things first, let's talk about the money. Because raising chickens isn't just about having food on the table. It's a genuinely smart investment. It's a way to build a real sustainable business, even if you're starting with basically nothing. And what's really incredible is how fast this whole thing works. Check this out. A farmer can start with just 5 hens and a rooster. And in only 3 months, they can have a flock of 40 chicks. I mean, we're not talking about some long-term 10-year plan here. This is a super fast way to start generating real income. And the financial jump it's just huge. The extreme poverty line is around $700 a year. That's it. But a family raising chickens, they can bring in over $1,000. So you see, this isn't just a little bit of side money. This is life-changing. It's enough to lift an entire family completely out of that extreme poverty bracket.
So why is this so doable for so many people? Well, the startup costs are ridiculously low. Chickens can find a lot of their own food. You can build a coop out of scrap wood and wire. And get this, a key vaccine costs just 20 cents per bird. The barrier to entry to starting this business, it's pretty much non-existent.
Okay, but it's not just about the money, not even close. The benefits go way beyond that, especially when it comes to a family's health and nutrition. That impact is just as important. Think about this number for a second. Over 3 million children die from malnutrition every single year. It's just a devastating and frankly preventable tragedy. And this is where chickens become this direct, powerful tool to fight that crisis, literally one family at a time. It creates something experts call nutritional security. On one hand, you've got eggs, which are packed with vital protein for kids. But it's kind of like a 2-for-1 deal, because families can also sell some chickens to buy other healthy foods. That means they can build a much more balanced, resilient diet. But here's where it gets really interesting. Maybe the biggest impact of all isn't financial or even about health. It's social. Because raising chickens has turned out to be an incredible tool for empowering women. Think about it like this. Big animals, like cows or sheep, are usually handled by men, often far away from the house. But chickens, you can keep them right in your backyard. And that one simple difference means that raising chickens very often becomes a business run by women. And having that control it's just transformative. There's this quote from a woman in Africa that says it all. She said, "If my child is sick, I can sell a chicken and pay for the medicine." See? It's not just about cash. It's about having agency. It's the power to make your own decisions for your family's well-being. So, as you can probably guess, this isn't just some nice idea on a blog post. The Gates Foundation is actually putting its money where its mouth is. They're turning this from a cool concept into a real large-scale project on the ground. To get the ball rolling, they're working with partners to donate 100,000 chickens to families across sub-Saharan Africa. This gives them that crucial first step, the starter kit, if you will, to build their own flocks. And their goal is pretty ambitious, but it's totally doable. Right now, only about 5% of rural families in the area raise vaccinated chickens. The goal? To get that number up to 30%. Just imagine the ripple effect of that. A 6-fold increase. That could be huge for the entire continent. So what's the bottom line? What's the big lesson we can pull from a tech billionaire getting super into, of all things, chicken farming? Well, I think there are 3 big things here.
First, sometimes the simplest, most low-tech ideas can have an absolutely massive impact. Second, the best kind of help isn't a handout, it's a tool, something sustainable that lets people build their own success. And third, and this is so important, when you empower women economically, you lift up the entire community. The best solutions really are the ones that give people control over their own lives.
And all of this kind of leaves you wondering, right? It leaves us with this one last big question. If a simple chicken can do all this, what other simple, overlooked things are out there that could be the key to solving some of our world's biggest problems?